SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, in today's video, I want to take a look at a prediction possibility here. I guess I just want to make my prediction for 2025. Which network provider, network builder, T-Mobile, Verizon, or AT&T, is going to be the most improved network in 2025? And I guess we won't really know until the end of the year 2025. Right, and we get some third-party data and some analysis and testing and all that. But I want to take a look at where things are currently and where things are going. So as of right now, T-Mobile is the fastest 5G network across the entire part of the country. If we take all the collection of data sets from Ookla, which is a speed testing app, you get crowdsourced data from millions and millions of phones and all those types of things. T-Mobile is generally regarded by most third-party testers to be the fastest network across the entire country. Verizon typically comes in second, as you can see here by the image, and then AT&T always comes in third. That seems to be the theme for the last couple of years. So if I'm looking at this data and I'm looking at all the different sets of data, whether it's OpenSignal or Ookla or Root Metrics, I'm walking away feeling like go with the given, right? Make the call for the thing that makes the most sense, right? The best indicator of the future is the performance of the present, and the way things have been going, in the future are likely going to be repeated by things in the past. So you would say, okay, well, you got to go with T-Mobile. T-Mobile is going to be the best network, continue to be the fastest network, the most improved network, all of those things. And actually, I'm not going to go with that prediction. I'm actually going to buck the trend. And I'm going to go with a different carrier. And a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, it's got to be Verizon. Sneed loves Verizon, whatever. But I am going to go with AT&T. I think AT&T is going to be the most improved network in 2025. And I'll give you guys my reason, and it's really, really simple. They're third by a lot in a lot of different ways. Latency, responsiveness, all types of different root metrics, categories they've shown to be very weak compared to their competitors. That would include speed, that would include reliability, that would include a lot of different things, and depends on the market with root metrics and stuff like that. But Ookla and OpenSignal, we look at all these average downlink and uplink speeds. AT&T is at the lowest amongst all major providers in so many categories. I'd say, if I had to estimate, probably 90% of the things that the different testing firms test for, AT&T is pretty much finishing 3 of 3. So I'm going to go with this philosophy, right? The carrier that has been performing the worst, because it's starting lower, has the highest probability of improving the most. It's like, well, you can't go down from there, right? You only got to go up. And don't forget, AT&T is currently undergoing a huge renovation to their network, switching from Nokia to Ericsson. A lot of these conversions are going to fully modernize all these different tower sites in all these regions. I think AT&T has the most upside. I think they're going to be the most improved carrier network across the country. And that's not to poo-poo what T-Mobile and Verizon are going to do. I think Verizon's also going to be a very improved network across much of the country as well. I think T-Mobile's probably going to be the least improved, because the thing that T-Mobile has to improve is the hardest thing to do, and that's build towers in the middle of nowhere where there's very little return on invested capital. Meanwhile, Verizon and AT&T, they have first responder networks. They have government contracts. They're kind of paid to build bigger networks, and if you kind of look at it that way, right? So there's a lot of different factors. I think T-Mobile is likely to improve the least, but they're very good. So, if you look at all these metrics, they really just have to work on some calling, some reliability in some instances, and availability of their network, right? Verizon just has to get modern. They have a very big network, but lots of tower sites are old. I think they'll improve a lot of that. But AT&T, they're building their network bigger. They obviously have FirstNet, and the first responder network, but they're fully modernizing and going with the best radio access network vendor in Ericsson National. That's going to do a lot for their network. So in my opinion, the most improved carrier based on weakness and the most recent kind of performances, I think it's going to be AT&T. I think they'll be the most improved in 2025 by the end of the year. What do you guys think? Do you think AT&T is going to be the most improved? Do you agree with me, or do you see it differently? And if you do see it differently, give me your reason. And actually, if you agree with me on AT&T but have a different reason, let me know. I always think about things like, AT&T densifying and having access to, high capacity fiber circuits as an ILEC. I feel like all those things can be part of their advantage, and that might kind of play into 2025. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. You're the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.